This water right here looks like fruit punch. It's red. That is really weird. I'm paddling currently through red water. Look at that. You can see in the splash, that water is red. That is wild. All right, so to the left is that Newark Asphalt Corporation. And I'm telling you right here, it is deep red water. I have never seen water in my life in a river that was red like this.
Of course, it's going to be a commercial break.
And we're paddling right through it. I'm telling you, it looks like fruit punch. Canada Goose to the left. Really strong asphalt smell right now.
All right, let me show one more before I start. Let's get this right here. There it is. Now this is a Sea of Galilee. This is pretty recent. Now there's others that of course I can show, but we're gonna start off with these two. So if y'all remember, if you remember what happened back in the time that Egypt had the Hebrews in captivity, and remember the 10 plagues that came along when God, the Most High, Yahweh, was trying to warn and had Moses and Aaron give warning to Pharaoh about what is to come. And he turned one of the plagues, the 10 plagues was by turning the water blood red. Now, in our day, and so if you've been following the channel, and if you know anything about history and biblical history, back in the day, those plagues was more isolated to Egypt because Egypt was the ones that had the Hebrews in slavery. Excuse me. But in our day, if you look at this chart, every one of these nations has shared in that blood of slavery, that wine. They have drank the wine of the harlot, and they've all shared somehow with that slavery. So a lot of these plagues are more spread out. So just like that guy in New Jersey, you got the river turning red. Then you got the Sea of Galilee turning red. There's so many other rivers. And I tell y'all, all you got to do is just go on Google. It's not that hard. And look it up. And you'll see all these blood rivers. Now they're going to try and say, oh, it's because of this, or it's because of the soil, or it's because of some sewage leak, or they're going to say all these type of things. The thing is that this is all being controlled by the Most High, Yahweh. Now, any kind of, just like time is moving faster, and time is speeding up, just like a video we just recently did. he's in control of all the elements. So these are signs of the times, the end times. And all the way in Revelation. So, and the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and it became blood. All right? This is happening right now in almost every country. You can look up, and in almost every country, there is something going on. You have the locusts, you have this, the plagues are here, people. I mean, just think about the amount of flooding that's been happening. I've never seen this much flooding in my entire life, but the flooding is here, and it's here to stay. You got whole villages going under. So I think it was in India somewhere or Pakistan. I forgot where it was at. I need to do a video on that. But these plagues are here, and they're here to stay, and they're only going to get worse. So remember right here, let my people go, right here in verse 16. So going down, by this you should know that I am the Lord. Verse 17, behold, with the staff that is in my hand, I shall strike the water that is in the Nile, and it shall turn into blood. Okay? Who cares how it turned into blood? Say, for instance, there was some kind of soil that God had moved into the water. It doesn't matter how it turned into blood, it became blood red. And how often do you hear about, or back in the day, at least, the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, I never heard about rivers and this frequency turning blood red. You just didn't hear about it. It didn't happen like that. So, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. Now, real quick, let me go back. I'm jumping ahead of myself. So, Egypt, if y'all been following my videos, means the house of bondage. And that's why they got an Egyptian pyramid on the dollar bill. What does Egypt have to do with America? Well, it's signs. And they're going to show you signs. They're going to put it right in front of your face. And a lot of these 2/3 people out there are not going to get it. I mean, and hopefully, if you're listening to this, you're not one of those 2/3, because you're just not going to get it. Hopefully, you're 1/3 and you're getting it. And right here in Deuteronomy 28:68, the only time that slaves were transferred in such a large amount was during the transatlantic slave trade. And the Lord shall bring thee, Deuteronomy 28:68, into Egypt again. See, this is a future prophecy with ships. So when were the Hebrews brought back into Egypt? Well, Egypt means house of bondage. We're still in our bondage, no matter how free you might think you are, or how free you other nations think we are still under bondage. The world is not supposed to be this way. All right? So here's the bondage, and back into Egypt. And you know what's going to happen? Things are going to get worse and worse. There's going to be abominations everywhere, just like in Sodom and Gomorrah. So you have a combination of the house in bondage, Egypt, and you have a combination of Sodom and Gomorrah, which is growing. And these spirits are growing. You may not see it in front of you, but just like with the things that go on the internet that you don't even know about, or the dark web, this stuff is spreading like wildfire. Our children now can see more stuff than an adult could back in the day. So, and their bodies shall lie. This is the future, because remember, this is all spread out now. So this is all Egypt, everywhere is the house of bondage. And the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, this is where we're at. And these other nations, that's where it's at. So these plagues are being shown. And you guys need to, if you're listening to this, you know what you're supposed to be doing. And you're supposed to be keeping those commandments and making yourself clean again. I know it's a struggle, but that's what you're supposed to be doing, getting your spirit right as the 1/3, so that these things won't come near you, and you'll have that spiritual armor, and you'll have that Holy Spirit surrounding you. So this was a quick lesson about the blood rivers and the blood sea and the plagues. But all praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'll see you next time.